So exciting news is today, ManyChat is releasing the one-time notification feature on our bots, which is great. Thanks to Facebook for coming out with this functionality pretty quickly too. So this is a great use case to be able to send messages outside of 24 hours to subscribers who want the message and they want the content. So March 4th, all the tags that need to be added onto messages those are for messages that are being sent outside of 24 hours. Account update, one-time notification, or not one-time, that's what we're talking about. Confirmed event reminder, and post-product or post-purchase update. So with those tags, that allows you to send messages outside of 24 hours, and they have to be non-promotional. So then we're kind of like left with this hole, this from the 24+1 going down to 24 hours. So it's like, okay, great. Now what are we going to do? Well, thanks to Facebook, now we have the one-time notification that we can send messages outside of 24 hours to people who have previously said, yes, I want this message. One great analogy that I'm using to describe this is, let's say you have a bag full of coins and they are different color coins, right? Let's say blue, yellow, purple. And let's say that somebody opts in for a message that takes the blue coin. So let's say announcing the next offer that your business is gonna run. So you give them the blue coin. So then when you send that message about the next offer, everybody who has a blue coin will be able to receive that message. And then they will, in return, give you that blue coin back. So you can only send it one time. Also really quick, if you have any questions at all about this while I'm chatting away, be sure to comment with them below. I'm gonna pull up my phone to make sure that I'm getting any questions you have. Okay, so in that instance, so you can only send it one time. It's not like someone opts in saying, oh, I wanna know all your offers. Well, you can't send it every single time. It's one-time notification. So when they opt in, then you can send one message. But let's say they decided that they also wanted to know, they opted in for a giveaway, and they want to know the winner, which of course you're going to announce the winner more than 24 hours from now. So then you set up another one-time notification, let's say the yellow coin, announcing the winner of the giveaway. So they may have both the yellow and the blue coin, and then when you send each one of those messages, they give those coins back. So that's the whole premise with the one-time notification, is that it's a single message that it can be sent outside 24 hours, and it has to be on the topic that they are opting in for. Another use case that I'm using this for is for coupon reminders, right? So like, for example, when someone's opting in for a birthday flow coupon that they get their free whatever for their birthday, saying, hey, would you like me to send you a quick message, and or would you like us to send you a quick message in a few days to remind you to come in and use your birthday coupon before it expires? You know, because everybody's busy, you know, so and if you do, just click the notify me button below. So they click that, and then set up with the sequence, it will send to those people who are opted in. So with that being said, let me show you guys exactly what I'm talking about here. Let me pull up my message thing here. Also comment below if you're starting to use this already. I know it's only been like available for only a minute, but okay. So to set up this one-time notification reminder request, it's this right here. Now, what's interesting about this is that you only are allowed 65 characters. You can't put any reference to first name, no emojis, nothing like that, because this is technically a Facebook feature. So just like the JSON ad, you can't add all that fun stuff to the initial JSON ad. And so a lot of times, like with the example I gave with like the birthday offer, with it only being, you know, saying, hey, would you like me to send you a message to remind you about your coupon to use it before it expires? Obviously, that is going to be way more than 65 characters. So I usually put most of that up here, and then I say something like, just click the notify me button below if you do. And then they can click that. So this is the color token in my analogy right here. So you can put in like let's say coupon reminder. So then that will send them the coupon reminder. And then next thing you can do is like send message, okay, great. So then when someone opts in and they say, yes, notify me, then when you have your sequence message, let's say this is the sequence message, your initial sequence message, you will choose a content type. Instead of choosing one of the 3 other categories, post-purchase update, confirmed event reminder, account update, or other, which if it's outside 24 hours, it will not send with other. So it has to send outside 24 hours, has to have one of these, and the content has to match those topics. You can't just say account update and send a coupon, right? You got to follow the rules. Then you can choose the one-time notification topic, and then it will send it to them if they have that token, right? So that coin that you give them or the token that you give them, it will match up to this, and then it will send. So then you can send, oh, here's the birthday reminder. Here's your reminder to come in for your birthday. The other thing I highly suggest to do, depending on your use case, but if you are like, let's say this is the beginning of a sequence message and you have people who want to opt in for the next offer, right? They want to know when the next offer is. Well, my suggestion is if they have last interacted less than a day, then definitely send it to them. Let's say this was the, hey, here's our new offer. Send the message without using that token, right? Let them save their token for when they haven't interacted or when they've interacted more than a day ago, right? And then if they haven't opted in, or if they've interacted more than a day, then that's where you can say the one-time notification is, and then let's say the send next offer. So then you would send that. But then if they don't have, if they've interacted more than a day, they don't have the one-time notification is, oh, I chose that. Why did it not choose that? It's the next offer. It's not showing up. You saw me choose it. I chose it. Even though it's not showing up there for some weird reason. Then if they have opted in for SMS, then instead send them an SMS. And then another case, if they opted in for email, then you can have email. So this is where the multi-channel marketing really comes into play and makes it so that you can really contact people depending on where they're at. So then you can fill out the email. So this would be a good use case for a beginning of a sequence message that either they've interacted in less than a day, they have the one-time notification that they opted into previously, they've either opted into SMS or email. You can reach them at some point somehow, right? And if they don't fall into one of these categories, well, then one, you got to work on having them opt into multiple channels, or 2, they're really not your ideal customer, right? Or they're not engaged enough in this platform. So wow, there's no questions. I am like shocked. Let me make sure I'm unless everybody's just absorbing it all in, like, oh wow, that's so awesome. Or you can comment below too if you're here. I see that there's some people on, so I was just thinking that there'd be a lot of questions already. So yeah, so that's the one-time notification. This is really going to come into play in what, a week and a half or so, when March 4th rolls around. And you have to have one of the tags initially. So if you haven't been getting people, you can start getting people to opt in now for this one-time notification. I've switched a lot of my clients' bots to have this one-time notification so that they can opt in. The other suggestion is if you're thinking about, oh, should I use a tag or should I use a one-time notification? For example, like let's say confirmed event reminder. Let's say someone, there's going to be another event that you could technically use a confirmed event reminder tag to get them to know about the, the event or the next event or whatever. But then let's say you have the one-time notification, you can say, hey, would you like to know the next time, we have an event? I would choose the one-time notification because that's black or white, right? That it can also be super, promotional. Doesn't matter. They've opted in for the one-time notification. So that's my suggestion. If you're can either use one of the two, is to do that way. In that scenario, if they've opted in with SMS and email, will it send the one you put at the top? Yes. So it will go from top down. So I usually do put Messenger obviously first, because that's, especially if it's the last interaction in a day, and then the one-time notification, and then SMS, because in the hierarchy of notifications and of people having an engagement, SMS is usually higher than email, and then email as last. The other thing I've done too is when you send the SMS, and if you have them go back, and again, this is completely dependent on your strategy with your bot and what you're trying to accomplish. But with SMS, if you, like I've done for my restaurant, if, and which this won't work after March 4th in a way, but being able to, after SMS, if you send it to them with a link to a flow, and let's say after so much amount of time, they haven't clicked that link, we'll then send them the message through Messenger as like a follow-up, because they haven't clicked on the SMS link. But again, yeah, March 4th, that's gonna have to be not necessarily scrapped, but might have to be switched to, depending on how many people that is, to a paid message. Hey, Jamie. So the other thing too, I guess although I'm trying to stay on topic, but this is semi-related. Paid messages, I've been running paid messages specifically for one of my clients, actually helping out ManyChat and Facebook. And it's really interesting. I've been running, paid messages like broadcasts. I've been running a weekly, like a opt-in for specials or whatever for this e-commerce client. So every week we send out the new weekly special or whatever. Only about 40%, maybe 45 at one point. Actually, this week's been 45% of the entire audience that I set for it to send is actually receiving the messages. So that's super annoying. I even have the budget set to $1,500, and I have the big control set to $1,000. It does not spend that much. It spends like $18, but it seems to just send everything in the first 48 hours, and then it just sends nothing else after that, even though I have the paid message campaign to go for a week. So that's super annoying. I'm hoping Facebook will, because I'm working with them, that they're going to work on that deliverability. But in the perfect world, the situation of somebody not having, like, let's say with this, somebody doesn't fall under any of these categories, that you could send a paid one-to-one message. Say, okay, they don't match for any of those cases, send this paid message and charge me however many it costs to send. So that's the purpose. Or that's what I'm hoping. Jimmy's asking, how big is the audience? It's like 3,000 people. So it's like way enough people. So it's, and I've even tried cutting it in half, and it still only sends half of it. So it's just like, oh my gosh. So it's like, it's a work in progress, but that's also why it's super important to make sure you have SMS if it's available in your country, which there's more countries coming up soon, including Mexico, UK, and Australia for SMS. And then also, no matter what, make sure you have their email, so at least you can contact them via email. I actually was scrolling through my newsfeed, and some restaurant place locally, it'd be funny if the person who's running that bot is here in the group. You'd have to tell me. But I saw it in my newsfeed about getting a free cheeseburger. I saw send message. I'm like, ooh, I don't really necessarily want the free cheeseburger, but I want to see what they have for this bot. And so I went through, and I know it was ManyChat that the bot was set up on. And it asked me for SMS and email. So I gave both because I want to see how they're utilizing it. And so I got the coupon in Messenger, and then I received both an email and a text reminders about my free cheeseburger to come and use it. I'm like, that's good. It's good to see someone else is utilizing multi-channel approach to reach people. So yeah, but the one-time notification will be super, super helpful for this, for a lot of our campaigns, especially for ones that are, actually, I think this is better than just the 24+1 for future offers, because you don't have to do the dumb clickbait. We have a new offer, or we have a new surprise. You want to see what it is? Click below. And then half the people don't click it. Whereas if you can just say, hey, you want to know next time we have an offer? Click notify me. Boom, they click it. Then you can send them, say, hey, we have our new offer of XYZ. Click, here's the next steps, right? So it can be totally straightforward and letting them know. So I'm going to start definitely implementing the one-time notification in e-commerce, local business, webinars. Yeah, it can be utilized for pretty much anything. So with that being said, I think that was about it. I just wanted to kind of give you guys a heads up and say, hey, it's live and you should be using it and start using it now before the March 4th deadline. So anyways, no one else has anything else to say. So I think I'll just leave it there. But if you do have any questions about one-time notification, please post them below, and then that way I can help answer them. It's pretty straightforward. You just make sure that you use the one-time notification feature, request feature right here. Oh, one big thing, I totally forgot. One important thing that you need to be able to use this, you need to do this to even be able to have this as an option, is you have to go to your Facebook page and go under settings, and then under advanced messaging options, click on scroll down and then click to request access to this. So you need that from Facebook to even be able to have this to work. So make sure that you do that. Craig says, how many times can you use it on a customer? So you can only send one-time notification one time to the one person. So if you missed my earlier analogy about tokens and colored tokens, they get colored tokens and then, or you give them a colored token when they opt into the one-time notification, and then you get to, they give it back to you when they receive the message. But a subscriber can have multiple one-time notification reasons, okay? So like the topic, they can have multiple topics. So like they could be opted into 6 different one-time notifications. Let's say it's an e-commerce store and there's all these products that are out of stock, and they want to know when all these different products are coming back in stock. So they can have a different one for each product of when they want to be notified. And then you can only send one message per one-time notification. So one token. Hopefully that helps to answer that question. But yeah, so it's only one-time notification. And then if you want to send it again, another one similar to that, at the end of that one, you have, it will open up the 24-hour window when they click that button on that message that you send to them. Be sure to keep that going and asking them. Someone in my course group, which by the way, my Chatbot Agency Blueprint course closes in like 2 days. So be sure to get in on that ASAP before it closes. But someone in my course group asked about sending daily messages and how to do that. So you definitely want to utilize strategy to people that are engaged and want the information. They will click the button. It's really not asking them that much to click the button to say notify me, right? So having a daily message or having it every few days, having that notify me at the end, changing up the content, don't copy and paste it, make it robotic every single time, like make it interesting. Like, hey, so in the next few days, we're going to talk about XYZ. Would you like me to send this to you? Click the notify me button below if you'd like to receive it. Boom, then you can send it. And then just make use of the 24-hour rule. If you need to send something at 23 hours to get them to, opt in for something, then you could do, if you're doing like daily messages, then you would only really need to do the one-time notification every 48 hours, right? Just to do that. I mean, you could do it daily at 23 hours, then it's gonna kind of eat up the time. So it'll be like they originally opted in at noon. It's just at some point it's gonna be like 4 a.m. So don't want to do that. Or I guess you could, but trying to just work around the what's given to you and what's given to us in terms of policy and making it work for businesses. So I think it's so funny that when this was first announced, like these changes back, when was it? August? I'm blanking now. And then it was supposed to happen in January, right? They're like, oh my gosh, bots are dead. Messenger bots are dead. I'm like, no, they're not. But it's funny to see how people say that, but then, oh, lo and behold, it's actually better in some instances, and it's utilizing multiple platforms. So then that way you're not putting all your eggs in one basket, right? That's not just on Messenger, that it's, oh, also email, also SMS. And then, when more platforms come available, iMessage, I know that's SMS technically, but multiple multimedia messaging too. That's super exciting, with being able to add photos to SMS. So all these different things are coming out where it's not just we're stuck. And in a way, it's a good situation that this happened. So then that way we own our own list through SMS and through email as well. So anyways, with that being said, if you guys have any other questions or anything about the one-time notification, about being able to opt in for SMS, email, and of course, if you have any questions about my course and my program, definitely ask them below. I'm totally open to answering any questions that you have, and be able to get you guys up to speed and just really crushing it with chatbots. So anyways, I guess that's it. I will talk to you guys later. Okay, see you.